YouTube, it's your girl Quasha, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be doing a story time. And today's story time is going to be about my experience when I found out I was pregnant. You know, my whole pregnancy experience and my excuse me, my labor and delivery experience. So I'm going to tell you guys my story, how it went down from beginning to end. And yeah, so before we get into that, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I post. That way you don't miss a video. And yeah, join the family. Also, comment down below what you guys would like to see from us. What kind of videos, vlogs, challenges, pranks, cooking videos, anything, story times, Q&A, whatever you want to see, we'll film it for you guys. So let's get to it. So first things first, when I found out I was pregnant, I got pregnant in, I want to say June. Yeah, I got pregnant in June because June, July, August, September, October, okay, yeah, June. So I got pregnant in June, and when I went to the facility that I found out I was pregnant at, I was actually going to get more birth control because I was on the pill. So I ran out and I kept forgetting, you know, to make an appointment. I needed a scheduled appointment so I could get more. I never did it. So when it was time for me to go to the doctor and get more birth control, it was too late. So my mom took me to my doctor's appointment, and I went in there and I was like, I'm here for birth control, whatever. So anytime you get birth control, they give you a pregnancy test. So with that being said, I got called back and it was like, okay, so I'm gonna pregnancy test you. Boom. Okay, I knew that. So I was prepared. I was like, okay, they're gonna give me a pregnancy test, and then they're gonna give me the results, and then I'm gonna get my birth control. So I was already in my mind thinking, oh, I'm not pregnant, I'm gonna get my birth control. My baby daddy was on the other end talking about baby pregnant. I was like, no, I'm not. Stop saying that. And he was like, you are. And I was like, whatever. But anyways, so yeah, I'm in there and they give me a cup to pee in. So I go pee in the cup and I come back and they was like, okay, we're gonna go test your pregnancy test and we'll be back. And I said, okay. So I'm in, the whole time I'm waiting, I'm just like, Lord, let me not be pregnant. Like, I don't want to be pregnant right now. It's not that I didn't want a baby, it's just that I didn't need one at the time. I was still trying to get through school, and I still had other things I need to take care of, and the baby was just not, it was not it. It didn't need to be at that time. So I was sitting there waiting, I was just praying, like, Lord, I know I'm not pregnant. Please don't let me be pregnant. And so the lady comes in, and the paper she had, they marked it with a Sharpie. So like, I seen it. I was like, please don't tell me that's a plus sign. So she sat down and she was like, unfortunately, we can't give you your birth control. And I was like, why not? And she was like, because you are 2 months pregnant. And I was like, huh? She was like, you're 2 months pregnant. And I was like, okay, like, I was shocked, like, what? Like, what's going on? And so she was like, yeah, you're 2 months pregnant. The doctor will be in here shortly, you know, to talk to you about your decision on what you want to do, if you want to keep it or not, you know, or what plans you have, you know, down the road. And I was like, okay, whatever. So she went out, and I waited for the doctor to come in. So the doctor came in, and she was like, you're 2 months pregnant. Do you plan on keeping the baby? Are you going to abort the baby? Or you giving it up for adoption? What are your plans? And you know me, being raised the way I was raised, you know, I made my bed, so now I got to lay in it. So with that being said, is my mom didn't do that to me, so I'm not going to do that to my child. You know, Zayden didn't ask to be here. So I have to own up to my responsibilities and take care of him. So I was just like, you know, I'm going to keep it. Like, I plan on keeping this baby. I'm not going to do anything, you know, to it. I'm not going to abort it. I'm not going to give it up for adoption. I'm going to keep it. She was like, okay, yeah, that's the best thing for you to do. You know, I'm glad you're going to keep your baby and raise your baby to the best of your ability. And I was like, yeah, thank you, you know. And so after that, I get called out, like we're leaving, the appointment's over, and we're paying for the visit. So my mom asked the lady behind the desk, she was like, so what are they gonna do about her birth control? And the lady was like, I'll let her talk to you about that. And so I just kind of like looked at my mom like, you know, I've had a feeling she already knew because she's a mom, my mother knows, but she just wanted to hear it from me. So I told her, I was like, we walked outside and she was like, so what are they gonna do about your birth control? And I was like, I won't need it. And she was like, why not? And I was like, because I'm pregnant. And she shook her head and we got in the car and she just gave me a whole lecture, you know, about how she tried to prevent it, you know, to keep me from going down this road and all the things I could have did. You know, this is just, she gave me a good motivated and motherly talk. You know, she was disappointed, she was hurt, but at the end of the day, she wasn't gonna leave my side, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without her. So she, you know, told me how she felt, whatever, and she stuck by my side no matter what. And after that, we left, and I went to tell my baby daddy. So my boyfriend, I was like, I gotta go tell him, you know, I'm pregnant, whatever. So we pull up, I call him downstairs. I was like, hey, you need to come downstairs. I got something to tell you. Like, I just got back from the doctor's. Okay, so he came downstairs. So this dude was like under the influence. I was so mad. He was high as a kite, and I'm like, you not taking none of this serious. Like, you really about to make me mad. So he gets in the car, and I'm just like, hey, I'm pregnant. Like, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? And he was just sitting back there, you know, just whatever about the situation. He really didn't say too much. My mom talked to him, you know, and told her how she felt about the whole situation. Still nothing. He didn't say too much. And after that, my mom left because at the time, you know, I was staying over there with him. So she left or whatever, and then time went on. And we had our differences, of course, you know, we got into it here and there. Our relationship was up and down. Like, we had our rough patches. And so later on in my pregnancy, I had to go to Plainview, back to my hometown for school. And I was crying. I was like, I don't want to go back. I'm going to be away from you guys. I'm going to be away from D. Like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. My mom was like, it's not what you want to do. This is what's best for you, and you're going to go no matter what, whether you like it or not. So I had to suck it up, being pregnant and emotional and all. I had to suck it up and be like, okay, so I had no choice. I have to go. So with that being said, rewind, go back. After that, after I found out or whatever, I called my best friend, and I was like, hey, Takara, you know, I'm pregnant. Oh, shit, no, that's not how it went. I was like, hey, Takara, are you by yourself? She was like, no, I'm at church. What is it? What's up? I was like, call me when you get home. You know, it's something important. Like, call me when you're by yourself. And so when she got off the phone, she told me, she was like, our old youth pastor, Mama Wallace, she was just like, what's going on? Is everything okay? And she's like, I don't know. She wouldn't tell me right now. She's like, well, she's not pregnant, is she? So how she knew, I don't know. Like I said, mothers know. So after that, she called me or whatever, and I was like, hey, I'm pregnant. And she was like, no, you're not. Stop playing with me. I was like, no, for real, I'm pregnant. And she was like, what? You know, she was shocked. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting to be pregnant. I got pregnant at the age of 19, so I was not expecting that at all. But you know what happens when you being grown and don't want to listen to nobody, and you do things that grown people do, and you have a baby. So yeah, and I told her, and she was like, whatever, I don't believe you, yada yada yada. So I sent her pictures, sent her proof. She was like, dang, that's crazy, you know. And so after that, I hung up the phone. I called my cousin Tia, and I was like, hey, I got something to tell you. She was like, what is it? And I was like, I'm pregnant. She was like, no, you not. I was like, yes, I am. Like, everybody I told, they did not believe I was pregnant. Like, nobody believed Quasha was going to have a baby so soon, you know? So I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. She was like, no, you're not. Where the pregnancy test at? And I was like, Tia, I gave you, I sent you a picture of the sonogram. Like, my name is on there. I'm pregnant. Like, I can't fake that. And she was like, so you mean to tell me I wasn't using condoms? And I was like, Tia, that's what it means, you know, like, I'm pregnant, so of course we're having unprotected. And of course, that's why I'm pregnant. So after that, I told, you know, my family, the ones that I wanted to know at the time, I told them, we told his people, you know, we let people know what was going on. And so after that, time went on, back to where I was saying, time went on, and I had to go to Plainview for school. So I went down there, and I was just so stressed out. Me and my boyfriend were arguing. We weren't together. We were broken up. We were going through some stuff. And I was just going through, like, I'm pregnant. I need my mom. She's not here. I can't be with her right now. I have to get through school first. And then when I have my baby, I can go back. So a little time went on, and my birthday rolls around. So I went to the doctor, and I was like, okay, it's my birthday. Can I find out the gender? Like, I want to find out today. Like, I wasn't even supposed to get a sonogram. They just gave me one because my doctor's a great doctor. Shout out to Dr. Smith. He's a wonderful doctor. I love him. But anyways, excuse me. But I was like, can I get a sonogram? You know, I want to find out the gender of my baby. So he's like, yeah, sure, we'll give you one. So we're back there, and he was like, so what do you want? And I was like, a girl. Like, I wanted a girl so bad. I was like, I want a little girl. He was like, so what if it's a boy? And I was like, then it's just a boy. He was like, just a boy? I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a boy. I'm going to be happy either way. But I really wanted my girl. So he did whatever he did on the machine or whatever. And he was like, well, there's the penis and there's the testicles. It's a boy. And I was like, are you sure? I was like, are you sure there's nothing in the way? That's not his thumb or anything? Like, are you sure it's a boy? He was like, it's definitely a boy. So on October 17th, 2000, I think it was 17. Yeah, I found out I was having a baby boy. So I was 19 at the time. So I found out I was like 5-6 months pregnant. I will pop pictures up as I go through, you know, my sonograms, how my belly progressed, how big I got close to the end, you know, all of that. I'll pop pictures up for you guys. But anyways, I was like 5 months pregnant around this time. So I was like, okay, I'm excited. I'm having a boy. I get to go shopping now. I get to go buy clothes and buy boy stuff. Because I was so impatient. I wanted to find out right then and there. I was supposed to have a gender reveal, but I was like, no, I can't do it. I need to know, you know, what I'm having. So I found out I was having a boy. I let my boyfriend know that I was having a boy. I let his family know that it was a boy. I let everybody know, you know, that I was having a little boy. At the time, we were just going through a lot. I really didn't feel like talking to nobody. Like, I was ignoring people. Like, I was in my own little world. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I kept to myself. And so my mom was coming back and forth, going to doctor's appointments with me. And like I said, she was there from day one. I thank her for that so much. Like, she's the best mom ever. So she was coming back and forth. I was going to school. There were some days where I would wake up and I was just like, ugh, I don't feel good. Like, I can't do it today. I can't go to school today. I would miss like a couple of days. But the whole time I was in school, I had A's and B's, and I made the AB honor roll. So I was like, okay, your girl still got it, whatever. So December rolls around, I graduate, whatever, and then I have Zayden in March. So he was actually due March 19th, but they were going to induce me because I was so big. I'll pop a picture up for you guys. And I was big, so they're going to induce me on March 16th, which is my uncle's birthday. So I was due on March 16th. So I had 2 doctor's appointments left. So when I went to my second to last, the one before my last doctor's appointment, he checked my cervix and he was like, hey, you're at a 1 centimeter, so your baby could come now or he gonna come later on, you know. So I was like, okay, I'm at a 1, whatever, you know. He might come later, he might not want to come right now. So I called Takara on the phone. I was like, hey, my doctor said I'm at a 1. You know, Zayden can come at any time. I named him Zayden Michael Stevens. He has my last name. So I was like, Zayden can come at any time. Like, be prepared for when I call you when I go into labor. And I call my mom. I let my mom know. I let everybody know. And so one day I woke up. It was a Thursday, March 9th. I'll never forget. I woke up at 6:30 that morning. And I was like, something ain't feeling right. I was having contractions. But usually, like, when I have contractions, I thought it was a Braxton Hicks. Because I'll have one and it'll go away for like 30 minutes. And then I'll have another one and it'll go away. But these are like 5 minutes apart, 1 minute apart, 3 minutes apart. And I called my Aunt Tanya and I was like, hey, I'm having contractions. Like, can you time them for me? I'm in so much pain right now. So she times them for me. And she was like, hey, I need you to go ahead and go to the hospital. So I called my granny. I was like, Granny, I'm having contractions. I'm going into labor. Like, this is the real deal. So I hop in the hot bath because I heard that helps out. So it soothes your body, you know. So I got in a warm bath and it made me feel good. Then my grandma got there and she was like, you need to come on. We need to go. Like, get out the tub. We need to go. You hurting and stuff. So I get out the tub. I get dressed. We leave. Boom. I left the diaper bag, his hospital bag, at the house. Like, I didn't have nothing packed. So we left the house. I get to the medical center. I'm like, hey, I'm having contractions. They're 5 minutes apart. Like, this baby coming now. So they went back and they told my doctor, and he was like, go ahead and go over to the hospital. We don't want you to wait. So while I'm waiting right there in the medical center, it was across the street from the hospital, I called my mom and I was like, hey, I'm going into labor. Like, I'm having contractions. They're 5 minutes apart. She was like, okay, call me back if they're going to keep you. And so I get to the hospital. They check me in or whatever. I get upstairs into labor and delivery. I get changed into my gown or whatever. And they check me and they were like, you're at a 3. So we're going to keep you. So I called my mom. I'm like, hey, I'm at a 3. I'm staying. Like, the baby coming tonight. So she was like, okay, I'm on my way. And then I called my Aunt Tanya. I'm like, hey, I'm at a 3. Zayden's on his way. She's like, okay, I'm coming. So everybody was speeding. She actually got pulled over trying to get to me at the hospital. So, and then my mom was going about 80 on the highway trying to get from down here in Grapevine to Plainview. So I'm laying in the bed. I'm having contractions. Like, I'm like, oh, I just want my epidural. I want my mom and my epidural. That's it. But I couldn't get my epidural until I was at a 5. So I'm laying there, and then the next hour go by. I called to Kyra. I'm like, hey, she was in class. I'm like, hey, I'm in the hospital. I'm having contractions. Like, Zayden is coming tonight. Like, whether you believe it or not. She's like, no, you know. I'm like, to Kyra, I'm having contractions. She was like, okay, I'm on my way. So she came. I had a lot of people, you know, there for me, and I appreciate every one of y'all that were there for me. So the next hour goes by. They check my cervix again. I'm at a 4. So I'm just like, okay, my contractions are getting harder and harder. Like, you know, time is really, he's coming. So in the next hour goes by, I'm at a 5. They're like, okay, you can get your epidural now. And I'm like, okay, thank God. You know, I had 3 contractions that were off the chart back to back that had me just like, I can't do this no more. So they gave me my epidural, and I couldn't feel anything after that. I was good. And so after that, they came back and checked me again. In another hours, I was at a 6. I'm like, okay, so I'm progressing pretty fast by myself. They wanted to start my Pitocin, and what Pitocin is, it helps induce the labor, makes it go by faster. Excuse me, but I was like, no. I don't want y'all to do that because I want my mom to be here, you know, when my son is born. And so they didn't do that. They waited. And so next hour came by, I was at a 7. So I'm at a 7. I'm like, ugh. You know, my mom, my mom called me and she's like, I'm downstairs. So they're sprinting up, they coming, they running, trying to get to the room. Tells Aiden to hold on, like, we coming. And then they get up there. My doctor comes in, he checks me. He's like, you good? You ready to go? Like, you're progressing really fast. And then when I got to a 7, they started my Pitocin. And after I had got my Pitocin started, it was like 10 minutes after that, it was time to push. And so I sent Takara out. I was like, hey, go tell them I got to push. Like, I feel like I got to get this baby out. So she Opens the door, she's like, hey, I'm like, Takara, I could have did that myself. And she finally went out in the hallway, and got the nurse and was like, hey, she's ready to push. Like, it's time to get the show on the road. So they come in there, they get me all prepped up, and I'm ready. I'm like, I gotta get this baby out. So I did 3 sets of 10, and I just push. And Zayden finally came out, I had to have an episiotomy because his head was so big, so they had to end up cutting me. And then after that, I had him or whatever, so he came out to be 7 pounds, 5.8 ounces, and he was 19 inches long. So the pain on my contractions, I want to say it was about like a 7 and a half, 8. Like, my pain tolerance is kind of high, so I wasn't in there like screaming like the movies, like you see on movies, people screaming and crying all hard. The only time I cried was when Zayden came out and they laid him on my chest. That's when I finally cried. But after that, I took it like, before that, and I was having contractions, I was taking it like a champ. Like, I'm like, these contractions hurt, but I'm not gonna cry. Like, I'm gonna be strong, gonna breathe like I was supposed to, And then I finally got my epidural, which helped out a lot. So he was born on March 9th, 2017. I had turned 20 years old when I had him, so I was 20 years old when I gave birth to my son. I was 19 when I got pregnant, and I met his dad when I turned 19. So that's another story time. We'll tell you guys how we met and all of that good stuff and our first date or whatever. But yeah, my experience, the whole thing was, I'll do it all over again. Zayden has made me who I am today. So I wouldn't be the person I am without him. He was my motivation through getting through school. I graduated. He was at my graduation. I crossed the stage. I did it for him and also for my family. So that played a big part, I was like, I'm motivated. I got to do this for my son. Not only for me, myself, and my family. I got to do it for my baby, So I graduated high school, got my diploma. I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. I put pictures up, like I said, for you guys, and it was a great experience. And the only thing I would change, really, sorry, I got a blanket, I'm cold, you guys, but the only thing I would change, if I could change one thing about my whole pregnancy experience, was that I would change having my family there with me, and my boyfriend's family and him also there with me. I wish things would have went differently, but things happen for a reason and a purpose. So there's nothing I could have done. It was supposed to happen that way. Zayden had to get here. He was in God's plan. So that's why I went through everything I went through to get him here today. So I'm more mature. I got a better head on my shoulders. I move different. My mentality is different. Why? Because I have a baby. Most people don't grow up when they have kids. They still think, oh, I can go party. My mom can watch him. Like, no, it's not my mom's responsibility. She didn't lay down and make him. He didn't ask to be here. I have to own up to my responsibilities and take care of him. So that's what I did. And I love him so much. I wouldn't trade him for the world. He's so handsome, so cute. He just grows up so fast. Babies grow up so fast. I just wish he could go back to being small and little chunky little baby, but unfortunately he can't. He's only going to get older. So he's very smart. I love him. Oh, I love him to death. But yeah, that was my experience of being pregnant and at a young age. And mind you, I have scoliosis, so I was nervous about, not being able to push, or I might have to have a C-section, or not being able to carry a baby. But all that worked out for the better. So yeah, that's my experience, my pregnancy story when I had Zayden. So if you guys like it, hit that like button, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn your post notifications on so you don't miss a video. Comment down below what you want to see from me. What type of cooking videos, vlogs, challenges, pranks, story times, Q&A, whatever you want to see, we'll film it for you guys. And that's about it. I'm going to do another story time, just being a mom at a young age and just giving you young moms some advice and what to expect. And everybody's experience is different. Pregnancy is different for everybody. It's not the same, and it's not going to be the same like you watch movies. You might be scared. It's nothing like the movies people over exaggerate things. You have to go through it for yourself, to in order to understand how it feels, and you know, get your own experience of it. So that's about it. That wraps up this video. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far into the video. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to my next story time. I'm gonna do a story time of just, you know, my motherly experience, like, you know, being a mom at a very young age, 20, and being a mom to a baby. So I got pregnant when I was 19. I had Zayden when I was 20. So I will let you guys know what my experience was like being a parent and just being by myself for a little bit, you know, at 20 years old, just raising him by myself. My mom was there to help me, you know, through it all. I freaking love my mom. So she didn't have to do that, but she did. Why? Because she loves me and she wants the best for me. And she was there to show me how to do certain things because I was new to it. I never had a baby before. So that's when I needed her most, and she was there for me. And I appreciate that. And I love and thank her so much for that. But yeah, until next time.